The initial contact on my lower back by his hands sent a warm, dangerous, forbidden sensation coursing through my spine. I remained still, neither halting him nor uttering a sound. Instead, I lay there, barely breathing, while my heart contradicted the persona I had carefully crafted. I was a 47-year-old woman, married with 2 grown children, a stable home in Arizona, and a husband who returned each evening, yet felt distant. Yet within that confined massage room, engulfed by silence and eucalyptus oil, I understood the meaning of being touched like a clandestine secret. Now, every Wednesday at 2:15 p.m., I deceive my husband. I tell him it's for stress relief muscle therapy. Over time, it has morphed into something I cannot label. And last week, my husband inquired about the spa's schedule. Before proceeding, I want to express my gratitude to all who have backed this channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. For those joining me for the first time, thank you for your presence here. Recall to like, subscribe, and share your opinions in the comments section below. Your input is valuable. Now back to the story. My name is Brittany. Residing in Phoenix, Arizona, I've been married to Daryl for 21 years. We have 2 kids attending college, a 4-bedroom house, and a life that appears ideal from the outside. However, something changed after I turned 45. It could be age, silence, or the increased attention Daryl paid to his phone instead of me. I started experiencing insomnia, tooth grinding, and escalating stress manifesting in my body and soul. I eschewed medication. What I craved was tranquility. A work colleague suggested massage therapy. I scheduled an appointment at a tranquil spa close to home. It was there that I encountered Todd. He was 28, calm, and always maintained professional boundaries. He inquired about preferred pressure, tension spots, and allergies. His attentiveness and respectfulness appealed to me. During the initial sessions, everything felt medical yet secure. Over time, the gap between us transformed, growing denser, heavier with unspoken words. One afternoon, as his fingers traced along my back, they halted, briefly yet noticeably. I sensed a tremble in his touch. Instead of withdrawing, he ascended gradually, grazing the border of my shoulder with deliberate intent. Anticipating fear, my body remained still. It didn't react as expected. I breathed out. I softened. I should have spoken up, should have halted it, but instead, I closed my eyes and allowed him to continue. The subsequent sessions saw these pauses recur more frequently. His fingers whispered things neither of us dared to utter aloud. He didn't overstep any obvious boundaries, but he came close. And I let him. I convinced myself it was merely therapy, that Daryl paid no mind to where I went during the day. But the reality was, those Wednesday afternoons began to captivate me. The way Todd touched me made me feel alive, as though there was still passion within me. On massage days, I've taken up lipstick and regular leg shaving. It transcended stress relief. It became a hidden ritual. The most vexing aspect? My mind constantly dwelling on him during sessions. His touch, his tone, his silent attentiveness. An overpowering mix of too much and not enough. I sensed change when I found myself responding affectionately to a text confirming my appointment, reminiscent of a date. This morning, Daryl scrutinized me from across the breakfast table, narrowed his eyes, and inquired about my massage time, something he had never done before. His voice was composed, but there was an undertone unfamiliar to me for years, one hinting at suspicion or perhaps awareness. I feigned a laugh, mentioned the routine 2:15 p.m. slot, as every Wednesday. He nodded slowly, then resumed his eggs. His gaze bore down on me like an unwelcome truth I wasn't prepared to bear. I spent the morning feigning normalcy, but within, I was coming apart at the seams. I kept glancing at my phone, rereading Todd's appointment confirmation as if it were a lifeline. By the time I entered the spa, I was already perspiring. As always, Todd greeted me warmly at the door, his smile soft, his gaze steady. However, there was something different about him that day. His countenance seemed raw, tender almost to the point of being too much. He inquired about my morning softly. I merely replied, just tired. Yet it wasn't just exhaustion. It was fear, remorse, longing, all tangled together. In the massage room, the air felt dense. He began with my shoulders, moving slowly and deliberately. However, his hands soon wandered, lingering in places they shouldn't. His thumb brushed against my jawline at one point, and I didn't recoil. Instead, I leaned into it. "Todd," I whispered, my eyes still closed. "What are we doing?" There was a pause. First time I acknowledged, "This seems genuine to me." It was then I understood. He was developing feelings. Unforeseen, and I was unprepared for it. Initially, it began as a silent refuge, a personal right. But now it pulsed with life. Domestic life felt fragmented. Daryl had grown more observant, strangely enough. One evening he offered to massage my feet, an action not witnessed in over a decade. I almost recoiled at his touch. That's when I recognized the harm had already set in. Comparing them, Todd and Daryl, was no longer just about their hands. It extended to their energy, their presence, the way Todd listened, the newfound way Daryl questioned. Todd began texting me frequently, not only appointment times but questions about my music preferences, favorite food, even sleep patterns. He yearned to know me beyond my body. This should have made it more beautiful, but it made it more perilous. I attempted to distance myself. I missed a session, telling Todd I had chores. Twice he messaged during the day, "I miss you." Later, "Are you all right?" He was growing attached, and I felt a sense of responsibility for his heart. Yet I needed to safeguard mine too, what remained of it. On a balmy Wednesday afternoon, everything fell apart. As usual, I entered the spa, checked in, waited. Todd greeted me as usual. Then I heard my husband's voice, "Brittany." I turned, and there stood Daryl in the lobby, holding his phone. "I thought I would catch you off guard," he said, eyes fixed on mine. Speechless, barely breathing, my world seemed to tilt sideways. He looked at Todd, then back at me, then the receptionist. In that moment, I knew the barriers around my secret were about to crumble. My throat constricted when I saw Daryl's face. He wasn't shouting or causing a scene. He was just standing there, quiet, motionless, filled with unanswered questions. Initially perplexed, then apprehensive, Todd's gaze flickered between me and Daryl, suggesting he had just become aware of the situation. The receptionist averted her gaze politely, sensing something was amiss but opting not to intervene. "May I talk to my wife for a moment?" Daryl inquired, his voice devoid of emotion. Todd retreated silently. We exited into the scorching Arizona heat, where the sun felt overly intense and honest. Daryl halted merely outside the entrance and faced me. "Are you being unfaithful to me, Brittany?" I felt my limbs weaken. "No," I replied, my voice cracking. Not as you understand it." He fixed me with a hard stare. What other form could there be? At that juncture, I had to decide how much of the truth I was prepared to disclose. I told him about the massages, about the intimacy, about how I hadn't transgressed a physical boundary, at least not the one people discuss openly. However, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I had betrayed him. I was aware of that fact. He seemed devastated, not enraged, merely fragmented, as if I had stolen something holy from him and left it to decay in stillness. We rode home without words. That night, he slept in the spare bedroom. "And Todd," he messaged, "I apologize. I never intended to harm you, but I can't deceive myself anymore. I believe I've fallen in love with you." That was the final message I read from him. I didn't respond. The following day, I erased his number. I canceled all future meetings. I told the spa I required a temporary respite for personal matters. They empathized. But Daryl, he failed to comprehend. Not straight away. Perhaps not even now. We attended counseling. We conversed, or attempted to. Sometimes, we merely sat in quiet, hoping that quietude could heal what speech had shattered. As for me, I spent months pondering how it transpired, how a seemingly innocuous choice, scheduling a massage for tension, morphed into a labyrinth of secrets, unfulfilled desires, and emotional upheaval. I came to understand something painful. What I sought in Todd was not truly about him. Feeling recognized, understood, desired, I'd been starved of emotional touch for so long that I clung to any semblance of it like a lifeline. Yet it wasn't love, it was an escape. And escapes always exact a price. Now my relationship with Daryl is precarious. He claims forgiveness, but I'm unsure if I can trust him. Some nights he holds my hand, others he withdraws. As for me, I'm left to live with what I allowed, what I disregarded, and what I encouraged. It was never just a massage. It was the gradual unraveling of a woman who forgot how to demand her needs and opted for the forbidden instead. If this tale touched you in any way, please express your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you would have done. Have you ever kept a secret that brought you close to shattering? Like, share, and subscribe for more truthful stories like this. Thank you for being present. Until we meet again, nurture your heart before someone else tries to possess it.